We're rewriting the pigmentation story. It's not about perfection, it's about understanding. Dr. Maureen Allem, founder and medical director of Skin Renewal, is here to break down everything from genetics to the latest treatments that actually work. Welcome, Dr. Maureen.
Thanks, Cindy. Great to be here.
What is pigmentation?
So pigmentation is caused by little cells in your skin called melanocytes. They are like pigment factories, and they are triggered by many variables. Number one, the sunlight. So it's very important to look at all the different variables, and we have to distinguish what kind of pigmentation it is, because the treatments are slightly different.
And what are the different kinds of pigmentation?
You get the H spots, and those are those pesky little round disc-like lesions that appear on the sun-exposed areas like the hands, the face, and the shoulders. Then you get another kind of pigmentation called post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, which means increased pigmentation, and that is caused by inflammation. And then the third pigmentation is melasma. It's hormonal pigmentation. This is completely different pigmentation and treated very differently from the other two.
So what are the treatments that you have for all the different kinds of pigmentation?
Okay, so let's start with the H spots. That's where the IPLs improves it dramatically, together with topicals that decrease the enzymes that make pigment. Then we get the post-inflammatory pigmentation. It's very important to treat the underlying cause, because otherwise you're going to keep getting those dark spots and increased pigmentation post-acne. And then you get the melasma, which we treat slightly differently because it's a chronic dynamic condition, because the hormones are continually stimulating those melanocytes. Because on those pigment cells, those melanocytes, we have estrogen receptors. And there, you know, when your estrogen levels are high, like when you're taking oral contraceptives, you're adding fuel to the fire. When you're pregnant, your hormones are all over the place. And if you start HRT, you'll find that you may develop pigmentation.
And do hormones and genetics play a big role in the level of pigmentation that you have?
Yes, it's actually quite huge. Some people have these little snip that they cannot metabolize estrogen properly. When you are on these oral contraceptives, you know, you're getting melasma, go and see your gynae and try to change your, your contraception so that you are not adding fuel to the fire, because in those conditions you may have estrogen dominance, too much estrogen, too little progesterone, and that stimulates melasma. But number one, we have to prep the skin. So we have to downregulate those enzymes that cause pigment, repair the barrier, and then we can start with the peels, with depigmentation, and then we can start with our lasers. Because pigmentation, if you look at melasma, it's not only brown, it's red and brown. There's increased superficial cuperosis, these tiny little veins bringing all the inflammation in. So we have to have treatments that decrease the redness, and that's our laser Genesis treatment, which shrinks those vessels. And then you have to do treatments that remove the pigment. So the superficial peels will remove the superficial pigment.
But the laser regenesis is for the deeper pigment?
No, that's more for the redness and to repair the basement membrane. Because, with melasma, you've got an impaired basement membrane, which means between your epidermis and your dermis, you've got a thin layer there that keeps the two separate. But what happens with previous sun damage, you have like a leaky, you have little holes in your basement membrane. So the pigment drops into the dermis, and that's what causes that grey pigment. It's deep dermal melasma that not many treatments can reach. And that is where we have our Pico laser that travels at the speed of sound, 10 to the minus 12. So there's no heat, because with heat you can aggravate the melasma. So the laser travels at the heat of sound and shatters that deep dermal melasma into a million pieces so that your normal immune system can take it away.
What an incredible machine, Pico laser.
No, absolutely,
wow.
yeah, Pico laser. So that's the
you.
new technology, that we've introduced the last 2 years.
Thank you, that's so interesting. And then obviously the number one way to avoid pigmentation, SPF, SPF, SPF.
That is absolutely non-negotiable, because that stops the light from reaching those pigment factories that go crazy. So don't forget to do your face, your neck and your chest. And make sure you have a generous amount of SPF, don't be stuck. And reapply it every 2 hours if you've got a serious problem. Because even the ambient light, any visible light, and believe it or not, even sitting in front of a computer with that blue light can stimulate those melanocytes, especially in darker skin.
Incredible. Thank you, Dr. Maureen.
Thank you.